On the 23rd of January 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that would shake the very foundations of the American financial system. In a move that would turn heads around the world, Trump took a bold stance, one that could leave central bank digital currencies in the firing line and usher in a new era for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, this is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
In the face of China's digital yuan and Europe's fast-moving digital euro, Trump's executive order is a powerful rejection of centralized digital currencies. The sweeping directive doesn't just pause America's embrace of CBDCs, it flatly bans them. Despite the Federal Reserve's extensive research into CBDCs, there's been little appetite to push them forward. Jerome Powell, Fed chair, recently stated that Americans need not worry about a digital dollar anytime soon, as implied by Trump in the wake of his executive order. But with China's digital yuan gaining traction and several players in Europe fast-tracking their own plans for CBDCs, Trump's refusal to play that game sets the US apart. But why? Why has the United States chosen this path? Could it be that decentralized finance isn't just a passing fad? Could public blockchains offer something that CBDCs like the ones in China and Europe don't? If public and private blockchains do, then this executive order may just become Trump's defining financial legacy, one that stands in stark contrast to the direction of other global financial giants. Could this be a move that finds America turning its back on a centralized financial future and placing bets on a decentralized one instead? Public blockchains like Bitcoin hold a libertarian edge. They are open, transparent, and outside the control of central authorities.
Last night, Donald Trump granted me a full pardon. I was doing life without parole, and I was locked up for more than 11 years.
It's one of the most polarizing names in modern technology history. Ross Ulbricht. To some, a criminal mastermind who created the world's first massive dark web marketplace. To others, a political prisoner, a symbol of government overreach in the new digital age. And now, in one of his first moves as president, Donald Trump has pardoned him. Ulbricht, the man behind the infamous Silk Road, was sentenced in 2015 to double life in prison without parole. His online marketplace allowed root users to anonymously buy and sell just about anything, legal or otherwise. For law enforcement, it was a dangerous hub of criminal activity. For his supporters, it was a bold experiment in true economic freedom. And now, after years of public outcry, he walks free. Ulbricht didn't pull the trigger, didn't sell the drugs, didn't harm anyone directly, yet he became the face of the controversy, a scapegoat for something much larger, the growing pains of the internet, the rise of digital economies, and the murky battle between freedom and control. Ross Ulbricht's pardon is just the latest in a series of polarizing cases that have defined America's struggle with its ideals of liberty and control. Before Ross, there was Julian Assange, the man behind WikiLeaks.
But what if an organization could do the leaking for the whistleblower whilst keeping their identity anonymous? People had been sending news agencies anonymous packages for years, but Assange was going to streamline this process. All sources would remain anonymous where possible, and they could contact WikiLeaks from around the globe. Anyone, anywhere could speak up about crimes and corruption, completely going against the established media and governments around the world. And the best part about this was that it got around the legal system as well, because the documents published by WikiLeaks weren't illegally obtained by WikiLeaks themselves, and were therefore admissible as evidence. And this was the idea that Julian Assange had in 1999. And then after Trump won the presidency, partially thanks to this leak and WikiLeaks destroying his opponent Hillary Clinton, you would only expect him to go easy on Assange. He even said, quote, "I love WikiLeaks" during the campaign.
WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks!
But once he was in office, Trump feigned ignorance, saying it wasn't his thing.
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
This was all a political move. The rest of Trump's government hated WikiLeaks and Assange, so he had to distance himself. Plus, he was about to install Mike Pompeo as the new CIA director, and nobody hated Assange more than he did.
Assange, in a very libertarian way, created a platform that allowed whistleblowers to expose corruption, from classified government cover-ups to corporate scandals. And then there was Chelsea Manning, the whistleblower who leaked classified information exposing military abuses and diplomatic secrets. Like Ross, their crimes weren't acts of violence. These were acts of defiance, acts of integrity. They broke barriers of control, using technology to expose corruption and challenge centralized power. Their release and Trump's executive orders mark a pivotal moment in US policy. The hostility towards pioneers in technology, the innovators who once risked everything to do the right thing or to push the boundaries of what's possible, is now waning. New laws and executive orders are being written to empower those innovators rather than stifle them. This is a bold shift, one that moves America closer to its libertarian ideals where freedom of expression, decentralization, and economic sovereignty take center stage. But not every nation is embracing this vision. Across the Pacific, China has taken the opposite approach. It has banned Bitcoin entirely and become the first country to launch a Central Bank Digital Currency, or a CBDC. Ross Ulbricht's freedom isn't just a story of one man. It's a story about the direction America is heading, a direction that embraces liberty over control, innovation over restriction. But what lies ahead in this financial and digital revolution? What exactly are these CBDCs, and how do they challenge the very freedoms that public cryptocurrency was created to protect?
So the only two similarities between a CBDC and crypto is that they both use an interconnected payment network, they are both fully digital, and they are both cheap and fast to use. This is the main reason why CBDCs are often compared to cryptocurrencies. In a CBDC-based system, the currency is centralized, it's pegged to the fiat price, it's equivalent to the national currency, it's tracked by the government, and it doesn't reveal any of the inner workings. Unlike a decentralized blockchain transaction where multiple parties come together to form a consensus, a CBDC transaction can never be disputed. CBDC networks are by design controlled by the government and the central bank. Even though all citizens and the banks can participate, they are at the complete whim of the central entity who oversees every transaction. In a crypto system, however, it's supposed to be decentralized, it can be highly volatile, but it is globally accessible and can preserve privacy, all while at the same time making transactions transparent.
Imagine two systems that both promise to move money quickly, cheaply, and across borders. They sound almost identical, right? Both systems promise efficiency and innovation. But the key difference here is control. One gives control to its users, and the other gives control to the state's central bank, or even a private entity. Across the globe, nations are racing towards a new financial frontier. China has taken the lead with its digital yuan, the ECNY, with over 180 million digital wallets and billions, if not trillions, in transactions. It's one of the most advanced CBDCs in the world. Critics of CBDCs warn of their potential risks. With centralized control comes the possibility of increased surveillance, account manipulation, and government overreach. In authoritarian regimes, this could lead to unprecedented levels of control over citizens' financial lives. The digital yuan isn't just about modernizing payments. It's about giving the state the ability to monitor and control every transaction in real time. In Europe, the digital euro aims to provide a modernized payment system, but with centralization could come vulnerability. Cyber threats, misuse of data could all manifest into scenarios like the Microsoft breach in 2024 that exposed millions of vulnerabilities in different data networks. China's ambitions for the digital yuan don't just stop at its borders. Through trade incentives like discounts on military hardware or infrastructure deals, China could push its digital currency into developing economies. The digital yuan might not just be a currency. It could even become a lever of geopolitical influence. El Salvador made history in 2021 by adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. The move drew huge amounts of criticism, but also opened the door for other nations considering cryptocurrencies as a way to bypass traditional financial systems and see how it could actually work on the ground. El Salvador's embrace of Bitcoin extends beyond its use as legal tender, though. The government has actively invested in the cryptocurrency itself, accumulating nearly 6,000 Bitcoins. As of late 2024, with Bitcoin's value surpassing $100,000, the country's portfolio has more than doubled, resulting in a profit exceeding $300 million. Capitalizing on its renewable energy resources, El Salvador has launched innovative Bitcoin mining projects. By harnessing geothermal energy from its volcanoes, the country is able to mine Bitcoin in an environmentally friendly manner. This approach not only generates additional revenue, but also positions El Salvador as a leader in sustainable cryptocurrency mining. Meanwhile, in Africa, Ethiopia is leveraging its abundant renewable energy for economic development. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD, the largest hydroelectric dam in Africa, has provided the country with a surplus of electricity. Unable to export this excess power due to infrastructural constraints, Ethiopia has turned to Bitcoin mining as a solution. By entering into a power purchase agreement with Bitcoin mining companies, Ethiopia has generated more than $55 million in less than a year. It's more than doubled the share of Bitcoin mining on the African continent, and it's also using these funds to invest into the national power grid, with the goal of expanding capacity and eventually facilitating electricity exports both nationally and maybe even internationally. As more countries explore the potential of cryptocurrencies, these case studies offer valuable insights into the benefits and challenges of such initiatives on the global stage. Could the United States be charting a different course to these, or is their offering an amalgamation of both of them? President Trump's recent executive order seems to ban CBDCs outright, instead choosing to embrace other blockchains as the backbone of America's financial future. Interestingly, the executive order doesn't favor any one blockchain. Its language is deliberately broad, leaving room for innovation by US-based projects like Ethereum, Ripple, and others. There is also another layer to this debate. Not all blockchains are public and decentralized like Bitcoin. Corporate blockchains do exist, like Ripple or Tether's USDT. These operate on private or semi-private systems, similar to how CBDCs operate. Tether, for example, operates as a stablecoin pegged to a real US dollar. Each coin is backed by a bill serial number, but the system itself is owned and operated by Bitfinex, a corporate entity. There are currently around $140 billion worth of Tether in circulation. That's more than the entire GDP of Ecuador. While stablecoins offer stability and speed, their corporate ownership raises questions. Are they just private versions of CBDCs with similar risks of centralization and surveillance as well as control? This grey area complicates America's financial crossroads. The debate between centralized and decentralized digital currencies isn't just technological, it's philosophical. It's about trust, control, privacy, and the role of government in the digital age. As the world moves towards digital currencies, the United States faces a pivotal decision. Will it embrace public and corporate blockchains? Does it risk falling into the same centralized traps it seeks to avoid with CBDCs? Or can it leverage this whole plethora of different blockchains? Imagine a currency that transcends borders, operates without a central authority, and has already been embraced by nations as legal tender. It's also fully transparent and currently has over 530 million wallets and potential users globally. This isn't a futuristic concept. It's happening right now with Bitcoin. Today, Bitcoin boasts a vast and growing network of merchants worldwide, from local cafes to major international banks and even governments. Unlike central bank digital currencies or corporate blockchains, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized public network. This structure not only empowers users, but also enhances security, making it one of the most robust data networks on the planet. Bitcoin serves as a layer 1 solution, providing a solid foundation upon which layer 2 solutions can be developed. Earlier this year on social media, just days before he became president, Donald Trump floated an idea. a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States. The idea was bold, leveraging the world's first decentralized digital currency as a hedge against both economic and geopolitical instability. But fast forward to today, and despite signing an executive order on digital assets, Bitcoin's strategic reserve, nowhere to be found in the executive order. Today, Trump's focus has shifted elsewhere. The rise of DeepSeek, a Chinese AI startup that sent shockwaves through the tech world. DeepSeek's processor and budget-friendly AI model has already toppled some of America's most valuable tech companies. NVIDIA, the chip giant powering AI titans like OpenAI, has lost nearly $600 billion in market value over a single day. Trump called it a wake-up call, a warning that America's edge in AI dominance might be slipping. This raises the uncomfortable question: is America's strategy of placing big bets on private corporations, companies like OpenAI and NVIDIA, the best approach? Or is it time to rethink how we maintain technological leadership? Here's the thing. Bitcoin has already proven itself as one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century. It didn't emerge from a corporate boardroom. It came from an open source community, a global collaborative effort that's been refined and battle-tested for over a decade. Compare that to AI, where corporate control over foundational technologies has raised questions about accessibility, legality, scalability, and even long-term innovation. As China continues to outpace the US in certain technological arenas, maybe the lesson isn't just about funding the biggest corporations. Maybe it's about empowering decentralized open systems that anyone can build on. Systems like Bitcoin that thrive on collaboration, not control. As the world navigates the complexities of its new digital landscapes, Bitcoin already stands out as a well-established, secure, and versatile tool for anyone choosing to embrace it. Its global acceptance and decentralized framework offer a compelling alternative to centralized financial systems. It paves the way for a more inclusive and resilient economic future, regardless of future uncertainties, new technologies, executive orders, legislation, or laws that are put into place. One thing will be pretty certain in the future: Bitcoin probably isn't going anywhere.
There's only one way it goes, there's only one way it shows. Yeah, yeah, like a rocket to the moon, like a falcon in the sky. She goes up, 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 woo! Bitcoin's going up, come sing it, yeah, Bitcoin's going up. My Bitcoin's going up, sing it, yeah, Bitcoin's going up, up. My Bitcoin's going up, up, up. Swear every time I check the price, see that Bitcoin's going up, up. Yeah, every time I check the price, my Bitcoin's going up. My Bitcoin's going up, Bitcoin's going up. Every time I check the price, I say my Bitcoin's going up. Every time I check the price, I say Bitcoin's going, going, going. Well, every time I check the price, Bitcoin's going up. Every time I check the price, my Bitcoin's to the sky.